like to welcome family and my dear friends from across Novato who came to join us this evening for this special celebration. My name is Rabbi Landa. For those of you that perhaps are not sure or don't recognize me, I'm that guy that sometimes you might see me in Costco or Safeway or Trader Joe's meeting a Jew in one of the aisles. I might be that guy last spring that knocked on your door and introduced myself to you. In this week's Torah portion, Parashat Behalotcha, it talks about the command for Aaron, the high priest, to kindle the menorah. The menorah was the 7-branch candelabra that was in the Holy Temple. The Kabbalah explains that the significance of the 7 branches are corresponding to 7 different types of Jews. There are many types of Jews, 7 types of Jews. Each have a different path, perhaps a bit of a different experience in their own Judaism. But each type of Jew is an important part. And together, the 7 branches, they form the golden menorah. If there was just one branch missing, the menorah was invalid. The community of people, of Jewish people coming together, it's about the community, all the diversity, the different types of Jews getting together and building something. That is the 7 branches that build that beautiful golden menorah. Aaron, the high priest, his job was every morning he would kindle with a shamish, with a helper, he would kindle each of the 7 lamps. Each lamp had their wick. And Aaron's job was to kindle each one every morning. The commentaries explain in this week's Torah portion that Aaron's job was to kindle it, in the words of the commentaries, An shetehei shalhevet ola me'eleha. He would have to hold his shamish there until the wick, each one of the 7 wicks, were able to give off their own flame. When Adina and I moved here last year, we didn't imagine this growth and the tremendous positive feedback in just one short year. In a nutshell, Adina and I were trying to brainstorm how do we sum it up in a word, if we can, if we're looking back at this year. And the word we're able to come up with, maybe it's because we're younger, but wow. We moved here just a few short days before the holiday of Purim in 2012. We knew literally no one in Novato, not one Jewish soul. We got here on a Wednesday evening. Thursday morning, we got a ring on our doorbell. It was our mail carrier. She had to introduce herself. She got the mail that she was giving us, and she wanted to let us know that she's so excited we're in town, and that she has a daughter named Adina. She shares the same name as my wife. And she's so excited we're here, and she told us, I'm the right person to know in town. I know all other Jews around here. And Joni, I think you could attest to that. She's Joni's mail carrier too. And we came to the women's circle off of Marsha's recommendation. 5 days later, that was the first Jew. 5 days later was the holiday of Purim. And we had 7 Jewish people show up in our home to hear the reading of the Megillah. Yana, you were one of them, Dalit, and from there things just continued to grow. Our first holiday event on May 27th, 2012, Memorial Day weekend, exactly 12 months ago, was the holiday of Shavuot. And some of you might remember, in our home was our first holiday event, and we had 85 people show up to hear the 10 Commandments. All right, they showed up for the cheesecake, but they showed up. In September, for high holiday services, we had 200 people between services at City Hall and the shofar sounding in the park that afternoon. 200 people came to hear the shofar. And many of you might recall the Hanukkah, the historic menorah lighting outside Whole Foods, where close to 300 people came. It came to the point where whenever I would go out on an errand, to Costco, to Trader Joe's, wherever Adina would send me with a list, I would come home with another story. You have to hear who I just met. Someone that heard about us, excited, and just never got in touch with us, but I met them in the aisle. It came to the point where Dina's list was almost twice a day given to me to go to the stores on errands. So I had to actually stop telling her the stories because she wanted me to meet more and more Jews just by going out on errands. So we quickly came to the realization that what's happening in Novato is greater than the abilities of just one or two people. It's larger than the task of just a handful of people. I look back at the year and realize that all that has happened are thanks to the committed people here, and all that is on the bright horizon for Novato can only be a reality as a community of people coming together. So Adina and I would just like to thank you all, and we really truly appreciate you all for coming and taking part of this lovely celebration. Like a doctor that heals a patient, the doctor spends many years going through medical school, yet the doctor knows that the true healing comes from the Almighty God. And God entrusted the doctor with the tools necessary to bring about that healing. Adina and I are humbled at the opportunity we were blessed with. The chance to help light a flame in Novato is something extremely remarkable, and we are humbled that we could be a part of bringing that flame on that golden menorah. Our inspiration it comes from our teacher, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Mendel Schneerson. His vision was to show undivided love towards another. His dream was there should not be a corner of the earth that is too remote for one to be able to connect with his or her Judaism. Before we moved here, we were living in the famous, or for some, the infamous continent of Brooklyn. Adina and I were both, we were teachers, and we loved teaching elementary, high school. We were living very close to family. All three of my siblings actually lived within a 2-block radius of me. Maybe that's actually why I moved out. But it was very convenient. We had kosher sushi at our corner, synagogues in every corner, wherever you go around Brooklyn. And somehow we felt a little bit unsettled. We had a passion to build the Jewish community from the ground up. After calling Rabbi Rice, who was here to join us this evening, and I asked him about Marine County. That's the only thing I knew about it. It's called Marine County. He told me that there's lots and lots of opportunity in Novato. You just have to be ready to roll up your sleeves and get to work. So we are very grateful for all of you being here this evening and taking part of building the building blocks and being partners of this budding Jewish community in Novato. And also thank you to Rabbi Rice, who gave us the vote of confidence and almost 30 years ago began building Chabad in Marin. Torah is normally translated as the Bible or the Book of Laws, but accurately the translation would actually be instruction. Torah is our guidebook, how to live life, to make it more of a wholesome life and a spiritual life. Just like a fish needs water to survive, the Jewish people, we have the Torah. That is our way of life. The Torah teaches us how to overcome challenges, obstacles, and adversity. The programs that Adina and I have initiated here in Novato are ways to bring the Torah values to people here in Novato, whether it may be through a women's circle or the coolest Jewish kids club. Over 20 children involved with our kids club, and thank God it's growing. Learning through Jewish holidays and their cultures in a fun and very interactive way. Whether it may be a senior visitation, services, or adult classes, we're trying to bring the Torah in somewhat of a attainable and in a way that could actually speak to us and be that instruction that we could all use. We put together some pictures, Adina and I, to show everyone as a slideshow to try to bring the past year, the beauty and its magnitude of what has been accomplished in just a few short minutes. It wasn't an easy task. There were many pictures and many special pictures to choose from. There's also certain things that just cannot be described or limited by a picture, such as the one-on-one connections, counseling, helping family with the loss of a loved one, or the magic of a Friday night dinner and a Venus Killer sushi. So please watch and enjoy a slideshow of some of the moments of this past year's adventures.